Hi, hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great. How are you? Good to see you.
Thank you very much. So, shall we start?
Yes, let's get straight into it.
Okay. So, um, hello and welcome everyone to Miss World Updates Present 30 Questions Before the Crown. I am Christy Abraham Kuriakose, your host and admin, and today we have someone incredibly special joining us. She's Grace, she's elegance, and she's the newly crowned Miss World Poland 2025 Maja Todd. Maja's journey to the crown has been nothing short of inspiring, from her days of preparing for the national pageant to now standing on the brink of representing Poland at Miss World. Today, we are going to talk about her road so far, her Beauty with a Purpose project, her vision for the future, and of course, getting to know the woman before the crown a little bit more. So, Maja, welcome to Miss World Updates. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I feel honored to be the first episode from what I've seen on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's great that I'm able to talk about my project and share it with more people. You know, that's what I'm all about. So yeah, we can jump straight in.
Okay. So, first of all, congratulations. Let's start with the
Thank you
big
so
moment. When they announced your name as Miss World Poland, what was actually going through your mind?
Oh my God. I honestly, because of how much like work and preparation all of
Mhm.
us finalists put into, the whole process,
Absolutely.
we all felt as though each and every one of us was, deserving and could have won. So I was in shock and just so grateful to be appreciated in this way. And I think I couldn't believe it, honestly. For the first couple days, I was like, is this really happening,
Mhm.
But just amazement and so much joy.
Okay. So, if you could say, how has your life changed since winning Miss Polonia?
How has my life changed? It's definitely changed a lot. First of all, just going from being someone who isn't known to suddenly stepping into the public eye,
Hmm.
um, under criticism, under the spotlight. It's
Hmm.
certainly something that's kind of unnatural if it happens just like that, just like,
Hmm.
overnight.
Hmm.
So that was a huge change.
Okay.
But also, soon, really quickly, I recognized the major platform that it gave,
Uh-huh.
and how many people care about my voice,
Hmm.
which is amazing. So those are the kind of the two most major changes that I've experienced. And it's what motivates me as well. It's, everyone can see me now.
Okay.
And it really, it's my motivation for sure.
So, you basically got a voice that people want to listen to.
Yes, which is amazing. Exactly.
So, if you could share who or what inspired you to enter the national pageant in the first place?
Oh my gosh. Well, what inspired me? I've always watched. Do you know what? I more often watched international pageants.
Hmm.
So obviously knowing that, always somewhere in the back of my head, I thought, not necessarily that this is like my main goal, my number one goal, but
Hmm.
somewhere in the back of my head, I always thought, oh, that's a really cool thing to do. I see how these women are given these platforms and go on to do such great things. So that was always in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Through social media, I saw on TikTok and Instagram, I
Hmm.
followed all the accounts, all the
Okay.
update accounts, and so on. Um, so that's my what, but who? Um, I would say honestly the idea came from me, but it was my family and specifically my mother who said, you can do this. That this
Okay.
is really something that you can do. Don't be scared. Go for it. And whatever happens, we'll be here as a support, which was really great the whole way.
Okay. So actually, that begs the questions. Since you said you have been following pageants, why
Yes.
Miss World? There are like a lot of international pageants. What attracted you towards this specific pageant?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because there are so many,
Yeah.
and every day I find out about a new international pageant,
Yeah.
and they're very different.
Okay.
Obviously, Miss World is the oldest, has the
Yes.
most tradition. Same with Miss Polonia. When it comes to
Yeah.
Polish pageants, Miss Polonia is the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
But what really stood out to me was the amount of service and work that Miss Polonia does in comparison to other pageants.
Mm-hmm.
Also because that is what Miss World is all about.
Yeah.
So we really work towards that goal
Mm-hmm.
as Miss Polonia every year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what stood out to me the most.
Mm-hmm.
The organization's vision, the mission, it's strong, and I feel every year it's executed. We're not shown as just, beautiful faces or a model on a catwalk. It's totally not that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what stood out to me with Miss Polonia and
Yes.
therefore Miss World. Yeah.
So we know a lot of aspiring Polish women look up to you for your insights regarding your national pageant. So let me ask a few questions about your national pageant.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your preparation process leading to Miss World Poland competition?
How would I describe my preparation?
Yeah.
Um, it was, at the beginning, it was a spontaneous decision, but it turned into a couple, I would think 3 or 4 months
Mm-hmm.
of hard work and a lot of organization that was involved on my side because I'm a full-time university student. I study business and economics. So joining those two things, preparation for the pageant, and that was really something difficult for me, I must say, but I
I know.
managed to do it.
I'm also a master's student, so I know,
Yes,
the academic commitments we have. So yeah.
exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of juggling involved
Mhm.
in my preparation,
Okay.
and also making sure not to by not sacrificing my education at the same time, putting full effort into my project,
Mm-hmm.
into my preparation in terms of the project and also presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And social media as well. There was a lot of things going on at the same time, but it allowed me to grow so much as a person. And that is something that it's one of the reasons why I would recommend experiencing that preparation and that, whole experience of pageantry
Okay.
to women
Mm-hmm.
is, obviously it's not for everyone, but it's such a growth experience.
All right. So during your journey, what were some of the challenges you faced along the way, physically, mentally, or emotionally, and how did you overcome them?
I would say my biggest challenge actually was after winning
Mm-hmm.
because of the amount of hate that I received. I don't know if you're familiar,
Yeah.
but I received a lot of hate
I
um,
know.
online.
Yeah.
So really, if I look at the whole journey, there wasn't anything in the preparation to Miss Polonia
Okay.
that would have compared. Of course, as I mentioned before, time management and just juggling all these different things at once was hard, but it was doable and nothing too serious.
Mm-hmm.
But the hate that I received after was the most difficult aspect. And not even something, of course, pageants come with judgment
Yes.
and hate, but I experienced it to a extreme level,
Mm.
which now I can look back even after 2 months and appreciate how I dealt with it. But in the moment, it was difficult for sure. Yeah.
And especially once you go to international pageants, you're basically exposing yourself to a lot of judgment, especially online from people who are hiding behind fake profiles. So,
Yes.
so I think it's a good thing that you went through that initially, so that when you go to an international pageant, you know how to handle them better and to protect your, inner peace.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Because there's, sorry for interrupting, but there's obviously, obviously, competing in a pageant such as Miss World that has millions of people watching,
but yeah,
um, there is going to be so much hate,
yeah,
along with positivity.
yeah.
But I appreciate it so much now because I know that I'm competing in Miss World that that won't necessarily faze me because there's nothing that I haven't heard now. And I'm still here. I'm still me, and I'm still, working on all these things, so I know that I'll be fine.
Okay.
But I'm prepared, obviously, for that aspect as well, because it's difficult.
Yeah. So the next question, this is actually from a fan.
hmm
Was there a specific moment during your pageant where you felt like, God, this is not my cup of tea, or I might actually win this? Was there any specific moment?
Okay, as for, did you say this isn't my cup of tea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say there was a moment that I felt this is not for me because I had a very steady mindset through the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what happens, regardless of what the result is, what
Mm-hmm.
it will be. I'm doing this for me and just to test myself,
Yeah.
to do as best as possible. But I will say that, as you know from have as you have spoken to so many myths,
Yeah.
it's definitely very physically exhausting.
Yes.
The main day and the couple days leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very testing, and maybe then I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is actually difficult work. This is not so easy."
Yeah.
So that was hard. And the other part, when I thought, "Oh, I might actually win this,"
Mm-hmm.
mm, gosh, well, honestly, I when I stepped on the stage on live television,
Mm-hmm.
that was the moment that I actually didn't feel stress. I
Okay.
felt stress leading up to it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as for actually being on stage, I think that comes from my singing stage
Yeah.
experience that I felt like, oh, like this is just my show now and this is my time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, like you can actually do this. So I think that helped me so much, that mindset
Mm.
for sure.
So a lot of people actually think that being pretty and knowing how to walk is just the face of pageantry. So thank you for clearing it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you need to, but it's definitely important. It's definitely important.
Yeah, thank you. So what's one of the behind the scenes story from the competition that people would be surprised to hear?
Oh, well, we had a 2 week grouping, two
Mm-hmm.
week trip, all of
Okay.
us 24 main finalists,
Mm-hmm.
where we had a lot of intense preparation, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the days we went to a theme park as we were
Oh,
partnered with a theme park as one of our sponsors of the competition.
okay.
And it's the biggest theme park in Poland. It has the biggest wooden roller coaster in Europe. So,
Wow.
and obviously we were taking pictures there, but it was just a really fun experience. Something that you
Oh,
wouldn't think of, that we get to do these
I,
fun
I wouldn't
things.
be expecting a pageant
Yeah,
with a roller coaster ride during a pageant journey. Okay.
yeah, yeah. If you scroll on the Miss Polonia Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
there are some pictures of that
Pictures,
day.
yeah.
So that
Okay.
was really fun. It was a treat for us. Obviously, we were taking pictures, but it didn't feel like a preparation day. It felt like we were just having fun because we got to go on the roller coasters a couple
Yeah.
of times.
I
Um,
think I think they did it to just to make you chill so that you can go to the pageant with a open mind and not stressed. So good work, Miss Polonia. Thank you for making
yeah,
us
yeah.
so
It's
comfortable.
actually right. It's
Yeah.
actually something that I found is when you after experiencing that sort of roller coaster life or
Mm.
death situation, because I'm quite scared of roller coasters.
Mhm.
So but I went on them, so after
Okay.
that I felt much more confident, like okay, nothing is scary now. So that was great.
That cool. And another question from a fan is, I'll just change it a little bit.
Right.
Apart from your parents, apart from your family, who was your biggest supporter throughout the journey?
Okay, I have three best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them I grew up in England with, and one of them is from here, from Poland.
Okay.
Ophelia, Lola, and Sonia. Those are my three best friends, and they um, were just so supportive of me and so encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
I am so grateful to have them as friends. I think it's one of the most beautiful part about being a woman are those friendships, and I'm so grateful that they just inspired me as well. And they, at times of doubt, they gave me those affirmations, you know, from
That
an external person, which was great. So those three were my ride or die.
yeah, I think it's been a couple of months since you won Miss Polonia.
hmm
So from that time to today, what has been the most memorable public, appearance that you have attended since winning?
hmm My most memorable public, there's
Appearance.
been, there's definitely been a few. It's been an intense couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other day we attended a kids film premiere as with the Miss Polonia Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of children that approached me for a picture or an autograph was just, I just felt so warm inside because they really saw me as some sort of inspiration or figure to look up to, which is new because it's only been 2 months since I've won. So that was really memorable, just to see their faces and you know how joyful they were at the premiere, but also that they had an interest in talking to me, getting to know me. It was That was great. That was just last week, so yeah.
Okay. So have there been any moments so far that have truly humbled or inspired you?
hmm Um, I would say some humbling moments
Mm-hmm.
were definitely my first interviews. No matter how much you think you are prepared for a public appearance like that, you are not.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So those definitely humbled me and realized taught me how much I need to work on so many things. I feel like I've grown already since then, but there's so much work still to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely a humbling experience. But also just after winning, coming back to my hometown and just settling back into my roots, going to my grandparents' house is always where I come back to. That was also very important to me as well.
So as you have said before, you are doing your masters now that you are Miss Polonia, how do you handle your pageant duties and public duties, and how do you handle everything together?
So I'm actually still doing my bachelor's.
Okay.
So it's still because doing the second year of my bachelor's degree now
Mm-hmm.
in Warsaw, Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And well, how am I handling everything? Well, I'm writing a lot of exams in the very near future, in a month. So I'm juggling that right now with my duties.
Mm-hmm.
I think rest is very important in between. I'm also a believer of the more things you have on your plate, the more time somehow you find to do these things because somehow, I'm managing, but it's definitely been something that I've had to learn. I'm also doing my driver's license right now on top
Oh
of
my God.
that. So there's a
I
lot of
know how
things.
exhausting driver's license, receiving a license here in Europe. It's bad. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yes. I think that how am I managing all of that? I often meditate. I'm a
Mhm.
huge believer of, calm mind,
Yes.
calm everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, just move the camera.
So that's fine.
So I meditate, swim as well. I think taking care of your body in that way
Mhm.
takes care of your mind and just makes everything so much easier.
Yes, that's really important. So now we can talk a little bit more about your expectations regarding the Miss World pageant. I
Yes.
know the Miss World pageant last edition happened a couple of months before, so you have time. So you have time to improve. So a couple of questions regarding your expectations. So Miss World is one of the most prestigious stages in pageantry, in fact, the oldest. So what are you most excited about when you think about competing internationally?
I am so excited about meeting so many different women from different
Mhm.
cultures.
Yes.
Um, Having grown up in the UK,
Mhm.
for half of my life, there is so many cultures there, and it's something that I miss in Poland a lot,
Mm.
for sure. I do appreciate and I love Polish culture.
Yeah.
but obviously we don't have so much diversity.
Mm.
So learning about the different women's culture is something that I'm so excited about. Also, traveling to wherever the pageant will be and
Mm.
wherever Miss World will be held, and experiencing the culture in depth there, because I know there's so many activities that we take
Yeah.
part in, people that we get to meet. That's something that is amazing, I think, and it excites me so much, and it inspires me, it motivates me to work hard so that I get to experience it every step of the way.
So previously you talked about your preparation for your national pageant.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking you, how are you preparing to represent Poland on a global stage? Because it's not the same thing. National pageant, you were at your home country, you're at your home ground. But when it comes to the international pageant, you'll be competing with like 100 plus delegates. It's going to be a
Yeah.
huge event. So how are you planning to prepare for that?
Well, from all the research that I've done, there's definitely a lot of different aspects that I've seen. So, um, firstly, the talent portion.
Yeah.
I'm a music lover, I'm a singer, so I will definitely be singing
Hmm.
in that portion
Hmm.
of the pageant.
Sports,
In, pardon?
sports.
Sport, yes, sport. So I'm also a swimmer, not
Ah.
professionally, but I swim, and
Hmm.
I do love sport. So I'm hoping that if I pick up the pace with that, and keep on training, then I will be prepared enough for that portion.
Hmm.
And of course, the beauty with a purpose portion of the pageant.
Hmm.
So maybe I'll give a little bit of background information on
Okay.
on because it's connected to my national pageant as well.
Hmm.
So each one of us finalists are preparing for the Miss Polonia competition pageant. We prepared our own project, and mine was
Yeah.
focused on children and
No, no,
schools.
we will get into detail with your beauty with the purpose project
Yes,
because we
okay,
have a
later.
exclusive segment for that.
Okay, so I'll just give the main three.
Okay.
Sorry, not main three, but there's a few,
Mhm.
let's say, areas that I wanted to cover there.
Okay.
What first and foremost being the continuation of my project from my national pageant,
Yeah.
and also I have been able to start working with the Miss Polonia Foundation,
Hmm.
and as a face of that. I have also taken part in a breast cancer awareness campaign.
Hmm.
That's just all about spreading awareness on self-checking, self-checking yourself, and I've taken part in photo shoots with this foundation, and also we'll be continuing that in the future.
Hmm.
So that's something that I'm promoting at the moment. But
Hmm.
mainly, I will be focusing on expanding my project from my national pageant.
Okay. That's perfect. So when you're going to an international pageant, I think it's very important to seek guidance from, people who have been there before.
Yeah.
So have you ever sought advice from your past Miss World contestants from Poland or any other contestants from other countries?
Yes, so there's two major inspirations that I have met. First being our last Miss World Poland, Maja Todd, who is just amazing, so inspiring from the moment that I met her at the casting for
Okay.
my pageant.
Hmm.
She inspired me so much. And of course, Karolina Bielawska, who I haven't had the chance to speak to in depth, but I've had the chance to meet her and just notice how much of a, inspiring woman she is, and the work that she's done, is incredible. So those are the main two that I have, of course,
Of course, yeah.
because they are just such powerhouses.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
don't know if you've spoken to them.
Oh, yes. Carolina was actually the
Yeah.
first girl I interviewed, and she was the only girl I
Okay.
interviewed during her year, and she won.
Okay. Amazing. So
Yeah, I know.
how amazing they are. So those two powerhouse women are who I look up to in this journey.
So, in the same question, to as an expansion to it, Poland has been in the top three in two of the past three editions of Miss World,
Yeah.
and you are coming with the same name as the previous Miss World Poland, who pulled off a continental crown. Does that give you some kind of extra pressure that knowing Poland is a rising powerhouse in this world? And how do you plan to handle the comparisons with previous delegates? Because of course, this is Miss World. People are going to compare you with your predecessors. So how are you planning to handle that pressure?
Yes, of course, the pressure is on.
Yeah.
Just even from last year, not to mention 3 years ago, the pressure really is on. However, that is something that Poland, in comparison to other countries, it shows that we are so prepared, and
Yes.
that I have faith in my preparation, and how not only my work from within, but also how I will be led as by the organization.
Mhm.
Mm, that is, I would say, more motivating than scary,
Mhm.
because knowing that Poland has had such success,
Mhm.
it motivates me to do, just as well as I can,
Mhm.
to follow in their footsteps.
Mhm.
But of course, there's pressure,
Yes.
as
Of course. Yeah.
Miss World is the oldest, one of the biggest pageants
That,
internationally. So
yes.
of course there is pressure, but having Maya and Carolina have, how they have paved the way,
Mhm.
it motivates me so much.
Yeah. Okay. So you think that you will work better under pressure?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. So we have a question from your fan. So I'm going to modify it a little bit. Apart from Carolina, who is your favorite Miss World and why?
Oh, my favorite Miss World. Okay, so um, one of the OGs,
Mhm.
apart from Carolina,
Mhm.
um, I love Ashwarya Rai.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
You can.
Icon,
I can.
and Priyanka as well, who is just a global star to this
Yes.
day.
Mhm.
But I definitely have been a fan of Aishwarya Rai
Yeah.
for so long.
Mhm.
So bringing it back to the OG days
Yes.
of Miss World. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think will be your biggest strength at Miss World? What do you still want to improve before the competition?
hmm Um, Maybe I'll start with what I think, one of my strengths that I think
Yeah.
I have is, I would say two things.
Mhm.
One, as I mentioned before, is the hate that I experienced.
Yeah.
I think that has solidified me in myself and my self-belief.
Mhm.
But having grown up in a two nationality, multi-nationality household,
Mhm.
my father being English and my mother being Polish,
Mhm.
I have been able to adapt to living in these two countries my whole life,
Mhm.
which is a unique experience and something that makes me appreciate not only other cultures at the Miss World pageant, but
Mhm.
also the value that comes with accepting, and also not only accepting but really truly appreciating and admiring other cultures is something that I've always grown up with.
Mhm.
So I think that's a big strength of mine, and something that I have to improve on. Well, I think at the beginning, and I'm sure that other contestants and Miss have faced this as well in the past, is finding the balance between Miss Polonia and Maya,
Mhm.
because this is something that I am learning to this day. Is because it's a with even a national title is still the title of your country. So that being that and finding yourself within that,
Mhm.
especially not in my private life, but
Mhm.
fulfilling my duties, is
Mhm.
something that I am learning every day.
Okay.
And I'm sure that, that's something that I will be developing every day up until the last days before the Miss World pageant. But it's interesting. It's something that I've never thought about before. In my run up to the Miss Polonia pageant is finding yourself in that, I would say.
So, as we all know, the heart and soul of the Miss World pageant is the beauty with a purpose.
Yeah.
So, can you introduce your Beauty with a Purpose project to us? What it is about and why is it close to your heart?
Yes, of course. So, just as I really briefly started to mention before,
Hmm.
I started my project in the lead up to the Miss Polonia
Yeah.
pageant, and it is focused on children, school aged kids and young people.
Okay.
And my main goal
Hmm.
is to, in some way, help with the mental health crisis that is right now being multiplied through social media.
Okay.
And let me first of all maybe start with how this started.
Hmm.
I've always had passions and hobbies that have helped with me finding my confidence and my staying mentally healthy, that being singing, swimming. And I
Hmm.
think that because of the world we live in today and the power that internet and social media has on children,
Hmm.
that's not developed enough.
Okay.
I think it's something that is really important for kids to believe in themselves, is having those foundation blocks. So that's where I started with my project. I went to local schools of my area in Poland, including my old primary school.
Okay.
And I spoke with them about tools that they can use to feel confident and to develop their mental health. Now, I would love to expand this on a larger scale, but also because of the hate that I received, I that is something now super close to my heart, and something that I'm very aware of, not only public figures experiencing, but kids in school every single day. So I think it's amazing to join that with the topic of hate in young people, and having younger siblings and even younger cousins. I see it, and going to these schools, speaking with the children, inspired me so much that this is very important. And speaking with the teachers as well, the teachers told me that even since I graduated, I'm 20, so I didn't graduate that long ago.
Yeah.
It's not been that long, but even in that time, social media has had such an impact on
Yeah.
on mental health in children,
Hmm.
and they're not pursuing their passions. They're not pursuing any hobbies or sport or anything that they're passionate about because of that, and it's very harmful. So, and it, of course, then escalates even further in the future
Yeah.
as you grow. Those are foundation blocks that you need as a child
Hmm.
and as a teenager. So that is my Beauty with a Purpose main project that I am super passionate about, and that I will be developing on an even larger scale.
Hmm.
For now, still in schools, but
Hmm.
also I'm looking to partner. I have a few, not yet announced, let's say,
Let's keep it
conversations.
for future.
Pardon?
Let's keep it for future. Maybe it's a
Yes,
surprise.
yes. So that's what I'm working on now, what I've been working on, and
Yeah.
my main project.
Okay. So hopefully, if you win Miss World, how do you use that position to further your cause globally?
Yes, well, that is my main purpose and my main goal. Is I know, and I'm aware that this problem that I'm passionate about and that I am working to tackle
Hmm.
is not a local problem. This is
Yes.
global,
Yes.
so that's important.
Mm.
And you know, what inspires me is just to think of how many people I can touch through that globally, how many children could feel in some way helped, inspired through that project.
Hmm.
So that's what I would love to pursue in my journey. Just knowing that it's something, it's a global issue that my platform,
Hmm.
possibly my future platform, can tackle, and that's
Okay.
what motivates me.
And one question, have you seen any specific results or stories from people impacted by your work?
Yes, so these are the moments that I do this for.
Mm.
Uh, when I was at my old primary school doing these workshops,
Mm.
there were a few girls that afterwards, after my workshops, I found out after through speaking with their teacher
Mm.
that they had started to sing, which I was so, because I obviously spoke about that, and that just touched me so much.
Yes.
I thought, oh my gosh, this is really why I'm doing this, and the smile on my face did not disappear for days, because that's what it was all about. So I felt like I'd fulfilled my goal in that school. At least there were a couple girls that
Yes.
started to do these covers, which was amazing. So yeah, that was that.
It's actually beautiful to see your actions paying off and at least touching a little bit of lives along
Yeah,
the way.
exactly.
So, can you say a little bit more about the workshops that you have been doing in the schools? Like, what has it been about, any concrete actions or initiatives that you have been carrying out of, a part of this project here?
Yes, so going back to that, the primary school that the girls were from,
Mm-hmm.
I actually chose to do the workshop in English because they are very. I spoke to a group of very a mixed group, some being
Okay.
very ambitious with their English, and
Mm-hmm.
some not so much. I count learning languages as one of these skills, and something that, especially in a non-English speaking country like
Yeah.
Poland, learning English is really important.
Mm-hmm.
So just as a bit of background, I did those in English just to help some of those kids step out their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But what it consisted of was it was very relaxed. It was more of a conversation
Okay.
that I had with the kids in a group. We
Mm-hmm.
just sat in the classroom, and I had a series of activities
Mm-hmm.
where I wanted the kids to step out of their comfort zones
Mm-hmm.
by reaching out and by I'm lost for words now. By raising their hand and participating, because
Yeah.
I find that a problem right now
Mm-hmm.
is that kids are becoming more and more shy in that area. So
Yeah.
um, and I just wanted to affirm them that this is a safe space, that you
Mm-hmm.
can speak about your passions, interests. Don't be embarrassed. But, I was trying to make them as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
So by making them participate in the workshops and speak about what they would like to
Mm.
achieve, what they would like to develop in, which passions, whether it's sport, some artistic passions, how they can do that. And it turned out being less me speaking and them giving ideas amongst themselves. So that was the main, let's say, the main portion of the workshops was them actually interacting amongst themselves and giving themselves advice. Obviously, I was helping in the process,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's more or less how they looked.
And I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful work that you're doing. So far we have talked about, Maja as Miss Polonia, what she have been doing about a national pageant, her aspirations for international pageant. So I have some of questions, a bit more personal.
Yeah, of course.
Outside pageantry, what are some of your long-term goals and dreams?
Some of my long term outside of pageantry.
Yes.
Okay, so I would absolutely love to develop in my singing.
Yes.
Releasing music is something that I'm working on,
Hmm.
and that's a big long-term dream of mine since
Hmm.
I was a little girl. That's always been my dream
Okay.
is singing and
Mm.
creating music. So that's my number one goal for sure. Um, Outside of pageantry, yeah, singing is my number one, honestly, and the most personal to me because it's been with me even before I even started to watch international pageants
Hmm.
and follow them. That was always my main passion, and what I found gave me confidence
Hmm.
and made me feel like I stand out was my singing. So I hope to develop it even more in the future.
Okay. If you could send one message to every young girl watching you, what would it be?
Ooh. One message.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
One
done.
message.
Yes.
It's a lot of pressure. One message that I would send is to go with your gut feeling.
Yes.
And the first thing that I actually thought was listen to your mother, but the main message that I would send was go with your gut in every
Yes.
situation, whether it's what you're pursuing or
Mm-hmm.
helping you day to day,
Mm-hmm.
even with safety as a woman. But
Okay.
apart from that, with pursuing your dreams, going with your gut feeling is
Mm-hmm.
something I stick to every day, and it's so important. So to every young girl out there, everyone has a gut feeling that I think they should be
Should
following.
listen.
Hmm.
So, in today's world, we know social media actually promotes a lot of fake, beauty standards, unachievable beauty standards. So, living in this world, how do you define beauty in today's world?
Oh my gosh, how do I define beauty? In I've never thought of beauty as something that you just look at, but it's a feeling that you feel from somebody, if somebody's beautiful. Um, of course, there's an image, a stereotypical image that goes along with that, but when someone is kind and when someone is loving,
Mm-hmm.
they are truly beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I would define beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really happy to be promoting an image of natural beauty, of naturalness, of nature, because I, I'm just a 20-year-old natural, all natural girl.
Of
And
course.
I'm happy that I've been given a platform in this way. As that, and that girls will see that, you don't need to get all of this done to even be perceived as beautiful, but just to feel beautiful. Yeah.
Well, in that regard, I just got a question from fan.
Yeah.
Tell us about any childhood insecurity and how did you overcome it? I think that's a good question. Thank you, Hawkeye. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Hawkeye, for the question. Something that popped into my mind, if we're talking insecurity in terms of like face value
Yes.
and appearance,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been very, very, very tall. And
Mm-hmm.
growing up, that's not a good thing. In school, being, let's say, 11 and being 1 meter 77
Oh
and now
wow.
I'm 1 meter 80.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is wasn't always the best thing.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I appreciate that,
Mm-hmm.
but how I overcame it, well, mm, I always found that when you look up to people who you can relate to and who you can see yourself in, for example, with this height, I looked up to people like my mother, who is very tall,
Yeah.
and other beautiful women that were also tall, and that's how I overcame it. So, how I would translate that to others with different insecurities is
Mm-hmm.
there is 100% always someone that that has that same insecurity as you, and it you would never think that. You would think that
Yeah.
that's a strength for that person. So that's my
Mm.
tip.
Okay. So, what is one personal value or principle that you live by no matter what the circumstances, you won't, you know, change it? What is that one principle in life?
Right. Mm, my one principle in life, apart from going with my gut, I'll give another
Mm-hmm.
one,
Mm-hmm.
um, is, mm, oh, that's caught me off guard there. I'm not sure about that one. I would say I always, mm, I always come back and apart from listening to myself and my gut,
Mm-hmm.
I always have a few people that I can trust, whether it's my family or my close friends that I mentioned those girls earlier,
Okay.
is always is never, kind of locking myself in, but speaking to them, spending time with them, is very important to me. But I wouldn't say that's a principle. I'm not giving a very
Ah,
good answer. My principle was going with my gut feeling, honestly. That's my number
that's very
one.
good.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yeah, just don't get inspired from the surroundings and always trusting your gut is
Yeah.
one of the most important qualities I think a person and a beauty can have in their life. So that's
Yeah.
good. That's wonderful. Thank you. So this is another question from fan that I think will put you in a position. So,
Okay.
what role do you see yourself playing in shaping the future for young women in Poland?
The role that I wish to fulfill in shaping young women
Mhm.
in Poland,
Yeah.
is, I would definitely say, coming back to previously speaking about um, naturalness being put on a platform and on a pedestal, is debunking those unhealthy, unrealistic standards that young girls are are facing. Not only appearance, but as in many countries around the world, Poland even less than some.
Mm.
I would say the roles that women are in some cases forced and in some kind of pressured to fulfill.
Mhm.
Most women in Poland are mothers and work full time
Yeah.
and are expected to do that. And I think that finding making sure that young girls are making choices that are for them,
Mhm.
going with this gut feeling,
Mhm.
is something that I wish to promote, but also tying into my Beauty with a Purpose project. When
Mhm.
someone feels confident, feels their self-worth
Mhm.
through what I mentioned before,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to make decisions for yourself, and I would like to inspire girls to do that as well.
Okay. Perfect. So I intended to finish our interview within 30 minutes so we can have
Yeah,
your weekend, but it's already been 15 minutes. So before we wrap up, let's do something light.
sure.
I'll do a quick rapid fire round, maybe ask 5 questions, and you just say the first thing that comes into your mind, whatever it is.
Okay.
Just 5 questions. So, what's the one thing you always travel with? You can't live without it.
Travel.
Yes. One thing wherever you travel, this one thing will
Oh,
be with you.
my headphones for
Oh,
music.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. If you weren't doing pageants, what would you be doing right now?
Studying for my finals that are in September. Honestly, studying
Okay.
all the time.
Mhm. The third question, your go-to song to hype yourself up.
Crazy in Love, Beyonce.
Ah, okay.
Beyonce is my number one.
Yes, of course. One word your friends would use to describe you.
Ooh, oh, I know this is meant to be quick. Mm, I would say they sensitive. I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive
Ah,
person.
okay, perfect. If you could have dinner with one woman from history, who would it be and why?
Oh, Queen Elizabeth II,
Oh my God, yes.
for sure. Yeah. I was able to only once see her from about 100 meters, and when it was the Diamond Jubilee, her Diamond Jubilee
Hmm.
in London. So yeah, if that would it would be her for 100%.
So thank you, Maja.
Thank
So
you
with
very
this,
much.
we have officially wound up our interview. So thank you for coming and joining us today and sharing your journey with such openness. And we can't wait to see you shine on the Miss World stage and show the world that we what you have to offer. And we will be here cheering you all the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your amazing questions. You really allowed me to talk in depth about things that I'm passionate about, which is great.
Mhm.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope to um, inspire others in my journey,
Hmm.
and I will be seeing you all in wherever the location is of
Yeah.
of Miss World 2026.
So
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Bye.
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 And to all of you fans, we will be meeting here on Wednesday at 5 with Miss World Hungary. So, ciao.